Hi, gang stars. Welcome in. I'm your master cosmologist, the head cheerleader to the stars. I got prodded by Neptune, poked in the astro to do a love message. Why? Why? Because Venus just crossed over Neptune and the baton just got switched over to the feminine as the captain, as the lead. It's official. It's official. And right before this, actually, that's interesting. Right as Venus was crossing over Neptune, I got prodded to put out a tough love twin flame message, which was very briefly detailing the dynamic and why it's funky and dysfunctional right now. And then I turned the camera off and it was like, you're going to do a love reading. So here I am. The reason is because, well, I'm being prodded by Sekhmet. Sekhmet is poking her lioness talon into my butt and making me do this. Why? Why is this happening? Because, like I said, Neptune just took the baton and passed it over to Venus. Neptune being the higher octave expression of Venus, essentially telling her to onboard her mother's wisdom, her grandmother's wisdom, her great-grandmother's wisdom, the ancestors' wisdom, and to bring them back to this planet now because the ways that have ruled are done ruling. They've had their time, they've had their chance, it's over. And the feminine energy is being prodded to mature kind of overnight, kind of throughout the day today. The love wants to be spoken about because toxic love isn't going to fly on the planet anymore. I had a vision right as I was sitting down to record of myself brewing up a Molotov cocktail, like a dash of love potion number 9, a dash of gasoline, and then throwing it into the dumpster fire. That's the current reality, the current matrix, and setting it ablaze. Like, okay, it's toxic. It's got to go. It's got to blow. So I'm in there doing my brouhaha, packing up the cocktail, lighting the match, and just casting it off into the dumpster, and dumpster fire explosion ensues. Why is love the big topic? It's because love is stated as the highest frequency, and it's not true. There's a scale, and authenticity, which I would correlate with truth, is 4,000 times higher than love. We are letting love misguide us and lead us astray and stay in toxic situations, and that is needing to be resolved immediately with Uranus at 26 degrees of Taurus. That is the demon star 𝗟𝗀, meaning we're punch drunk on love, and being in love in toxic situations where it's not actually love is keeping the planet locked in corruption, meaning the leaders that need to step up are so preoccupied and on their soul flame, on their twin flame, that they're not actually stepping up into their soul mission and taking the lead and saying no, putting their foots down, taking that Neptune trident, standing super proud and tall and saying no more. That's what you need to be doing right now, not worrying about what Flamey Guy is doing with who knows who, doing who knows what. Like, it's time to stop caring about that. Sekhmet's pushing that because Sekhmet rules war, and actually her highest expression is to not get into a war in the first place, meaning one is precipitating right now, and if we don't pull our heads out of our love asses, it's going to go down in flames in a dumpster fire. This planet will go into the A word, which is the biblical war and that will destroy this planet. Sekhmet's like, wait, ladies, you need to unify, you need to form an army, and you need to shut this shit down. So I'm going to speak through the language of love, and probably tough love. See what you need to know today in love. And the longer term message is the planet has to be kept safe. It has to be guarded so that the next generations can come in safely. And these new souls, these new children that are arriving, they are going to be extra sensitive. They are not going to be able to come into a polluted world. They will not come into toxic parent situations. They will only enter through divine union, through immaculate conception. Immaculate conception being twin flame union, where both partners have done their soul homework and evolved and stepped into their emperor energy and empress energy. Yeah, it's a high level of expectation that these souls have for us, but the time is ticking. I keep hearing ticking time bomb, and what was the other ticking? I don't know. There's just this sense of urgency where we have to step up our game, and we have to switch it up really fast and get a grip on it and get in control, get smacking some shit down. Because these children expect that of us. And Sekhmet rules healing as well, where she doesn't want to see any more children be birthed into the world with cancer or deformities or leukemia, all of these types of diseases. None of that is natural. It's a symptom of third-party energy and entities in the combination that's creating life. Plus the chemicals in the physical body, it's endocrine disruption. It's really nasty shit. Interesting. I've got Witch of Pentacles at the bottom, and it caught my eye in reverse. I'm going to leave that there and just see what it wants to say in a minute. But this energy is right below the Witch of Pentacles. I feel like this is something really wicked. This card in reverse has something very wicked. Oh, it's just what I said. That's getting in between partners and causing all these deformed children. It's S and I entity attachments occupying all the bodies on the planet. And they have to be exterminated, or else we're just going to keep bringing in children that are going to suffer. So this is the energy of Immaculate Conception, where it's two pure souls combining, alchemizing to produce a beautiful offspring. Okay, I guess we're just spilling beans today, and it's like step up. This is a display for you to step up and hold what you know to be true, and to not shrink down. The feminine's body is a temple, and it is to be treated as such, and no more. This energy is Cancer energy. This is the mother. This is the moon. This is the divine feminine in her purity, where she is this pure. The moon is about purity. Cancer energy is about purity. It's a womb so pure that you can only immaculately conceive. This isn't something that just Mary can do. All it means is clean production of, well, that sounds gross. Clean procreation, clean, pure births, where nobody has to come through karma anymore, where nobody has to come through suffering anymore, where children are insured to parents that stand side by side and never divorce and never create heartache and distress in their children, because the parents stand side by side as pillars, as twin flames. Woo! Ring the alarm. Whistle blowing, which means that the prostitution energy has to cease to exist on the planet. The feminine is not a sex slave. She's not for sale. Her body's not for sale. The masculine energy treats her and protects her like a temple and ensures that she's never a single mother, that she's never out on the street, that the masculine energy doesn't diss the baby mama, because all you're doing is hurting and disrupting the children's development. You know, like there's a lot of hard truths coming through today. But this is what I'm in charge of, and this is my teachings, and this is what I do. This is what I do. So I guess this is exemplary behavior, me showing you what caliber, what quality needs to be brought out by all of us right now. My heart is crying, my brain is crying, my body is crying. I'm hearing leukemia, I'm hearing cancer, I'm seeing children that are not healthy, you know, their failure to thrive, and it's not okay. You know, no body should be brought in that way. And it's nobody's fault. It's just time to clean it up and to end it, you know? People are so fooled into giving their money to hospitals and all these charities to support research, scientific research into curing these diseases. That's not how it's done. It's all done right at conception. It's all done right at conception. How you begin anything is how it persists forever. And we have to bring children in through ecstatic union. Two parents that want them more than anything. I'm sorry. This is what I'm very passionate about. It's what my voice is meant for. I speak for those who can't speak for themselves. I speak for the children. I speak for the downtrodden. I speak for the animals. I speak for the planet. And I'm putting my neck on the line for all of it. And I'm asking you to as well. So I shit you not, I got the warrior. It's the Maréchal Niel Rose. I'll read this card. I feel compelled to read it for you. But the energy here is Sekhmet. I'm surprised she didn't make an appearance. It's so funny. Last night I was consulting and talking with Sekhmet. She's my bestie. We're tight. And I have a lot of besties. I was asking for advice from Sekhmet, and I pulled in this deck, the sun is a picture of Sekhmet. I was asking about Sekhmet, and Sekhmet came out of the deck. I was like, okay. Anyway, this warrior rose energy is the sisterhood of the rose. It's the gang stars, the Amazon warrioress. Every woman on this planet united against crime, against suffering, against child abuse, against child trafficking, against every disgusting crime. And doctors and butchering and all of the abuses, we're putting an end to it. And the criminals that are in charge must come to the light and repent. And that's all there is to it. Number 18, the warrior. This could represent a challenge in which you need to step up, stand up, and speak up. But the energy to fight will only come for something that is worth the battle. The reason why this is a love message is because we have to fight for our futures harder than we're fighting for our person, our other half, the one that's not even in the equation and not standing by your side and defending what's right, you know, like that fight can be laid to rest because there's a bigger fight at hand. There's more important things to fight for, worry about, throw our hearts and cause into, you know, there's better causes is what I'm saying. There may be, there may be a slowing of outcomes or a delay in a hoped for occurrence or resolution, but all the same, nothing is lost just yet. Be careful to pick your battles and don't get caught up in drama that will bring you no personal long-term joy and comfort. The warrior develops skill, is loyal and true to the cause they are aligned with, and makes planned actions towards the goals they are looking to reach. Your other half, their continued denial, their continued participation in the deception age, in this corrupt system, makes them complicit, makes them an accomplice to these crimes. And you should wash your hands of that and detach completely. Pick the right battle, you know. Getting caught up in the drama that this mentions is getting caught up in worrying about what they're doing, what your partner's doing, when they are literally perpetuating this system and allowing these things to keep happening. It's also happening in the dark, and it's happening behind closed doors, and it's happening in the shadows because the masculine element refuses to step up and bring the shit to the light. It's being extremely cowardly. It will pimp itself out. This is the masculine version of being a pimp or being a prostitute. It'll whore itself out to military causes and go attack innocent people and fight for governments and politicians and corporations, but it won't band together on the ground and say no in our own communities, because this shit's happening right under your nose. It's happening at your neighbor's house. It's happening down the street. It's happening in your community. It's happening worldwide. And it's up to the masculine to band together as their own warrior clan. The feminine holds the no, and the masculine goes out and handles the affairs and the business and makes sure that there's no masculines on the planet doing shady shit. Nobody gets away with it because all eyes are on them. There is a watch dog, like a watch force out at all times, and it's highly protective. It asks, what do you value as worth fighting for even if you lose? Even if I lose, you can't shut me down. You can't shut me up. You can't stop me. Touch a hair on this head, touch a hair on my sea star's head. There won't be any help in your own redemption, in your own conversion. You won't have any hope. So be careful. Be careful. Be very careful. Anyway, do we want another card? I feel like maybe I need to install a punching bag in my workout room, let off some steam because I'm getting pretty riled up here. The Tower, corruption, underworld. Look at the phallus in the background. It's dirty dick. It's dicking the world over. It's keeping, the dirty dick is keeping the entire world locked in a corrupt age in the underworld, perpetuating the dead zombie matrix. This warrior energy is coming in to shut it down and clean it up. Just truth bombs dropping. All right. Unity. Not peace. Unity. I'll catch you all later. Bye.